Right, we are live. Welcome to the Michigan Bros Grow Show. I'm Big Pone, and here with your panel. Thanks for showing up, chat. As usual, you guys are awesome. And the Patreons every week, you guys keep this ship going. And also, Dick's Medibles, get some gummies. I want to shout them
Absolutely.
out. Off rip. I'm really bad at that. But welcome to the show. It's Sunday night, everyone. Hope everyone's got some weed, maybe some edibles. Who knows? Dabs. I got dabs. I got
I
some
just ate mine.
Winewood for dab time. I'm
Ooh,
so
yeah.
excited about.
that's so nice. What do you have?
Han Solo burger
Nice.
and
Gosh, you both
SF,
are freaking top.
SFGOG. Yeah.
Oh wow.
We went. He said he was going, so I was like, I'm tagging along.
What's the very bottom one? I can't see it.
Sunday driver.
Nice.
I got
Awesome.
Sunday driver, sherbet cake, SFEOG, and runts. I'm not a huge fan of the runts. I liked everything else.
I am.
I couldn't believe you bought that.
Fan.
I had to try it. I didn't try it.
Yeah. The best runts I've smelled so far, we just started growing at work, is Detroit runts.
Ooh, that's
And
wonderful. I've had that.
I can't
before.
remember the smells. I just remember liking it. So
Awesome. Cheers, everybody.
cheers.
Cheers, everybody.
Hope everybody's having a great weekend and enjoying this nice weather that's been coming our way.
Yeah.
I'd like to have a moment, if everybody doesn't mind. I kind of sometimes do this, but we've had some comments, quotes, questions about the show, and I'd like to kind of address everything. Us as a panel, group, friends, whatnot, whatever you want to call us, family. Some of us from time to time need to take a break, take a look at our lives, regroup, get our mental health things together, take a look at what's real. Things go on. So you might see a couple of us duck in here, duck out. Sequence, Skillbo have been taking a break here lately, and they might continue to take a break. I don't know. But as of right now, Michigan Bros Grow Show is going to continue with our antics, funniness, our education, whatnot. But some of us are at the moment taking a break. And I think that's a good thing. That's positive. That's not a negative. No one's been kicked off the show. Nobody's been let go. Everybody is good. Just needing to reset. And that's okay, because sometimes that's needed. I don't know if everybody can ever rectify things and say, hey, I can say I need to do this right now. But when people can, that's important. So take a time, think about your mental health, what's good for you, what's good for your family, because when it comes down to it, that's what's important. And I really feel like us as a group, we're going to still hang in there and keep putting out information and funny things and trying to uplift people and give the community back a little of what the community gives to us. So from here on out, you might see, Baked might be in here. He might not be in here. Spartan might be in. He might not be in. Everybody needs a break from time to time. And right now, a couple of us are doing that. So cheers, everyone. And we love you. And can't wait to see what's coming in the future.
Well,
Thank you, Tara.
yeah, well said.
Yeah, Tara,
Probably a little long-winded.
appreciate
But
your ability to be our community liaison with some of these things, because that was far better said than much of us. But yeah,
thank you.
nobody's disappeared. You see Skillbo, he is in chat. Cheers, Skillbo. What's happening,
Cheers.
brother? Yeah, man. Let's definitely point out the fact that this show is 3-4 years running. I think
Yeah.
4 years running.
Absolutely.
It's
Almost
a
40
lot of weekends,
a lot of weekends of Saturdays, Sundays, Monday nights.
and this is a community. This is a community sesh. This isn't a job for any of us. None of us are paid to be here. Are paid by sponsors. this is a hangout, and
Yeah, we want to do that.
For those guys to have put this on, brought us together, and then kept it going without pulling the plug so that we can gather and do this
Pretty great.
free of charge. If you do YouTube Premium or whatever, I guess that's on you to pay for YouTube Premium. I should probably do the same because I hate the ads and all of that stuff, but I don't. So this is all free content for me. So hopefully you guys are enjoying it just the same. I know that's why I jumped in here in the beginning, and I'm thrilled and still happy to have a place amongst this network to continue it going. They pass the baton, so to speak, as so many do. Look at the broad range of content and shows where the creators have passed that figurative baton to other panelists or whatever, or call it
I feel like they groomed me.
off, right?
Seriously, I was a panelist. I was in the chat for a long time, and I stalked them for a very long time. And look at me here. I'm amongst everyone, and I'm very, very fucking thankful for that. So I would have never had you guys in my life if I wouldn't have had those two. So I appreciate them, and a much needed break, and I love them, and I love you guys too.
I love you guys.
Yeah, so I'm in Michigan, I met Sequence on Reddit, sent him a camera when he said he was doing a podcast. I wasn't using it. And I didn't hang out and chat, but I was always watching and really listening at work. But yeah, this community is, what brought me to Michigan, and that's why I'm here. That's why I have everything going. So when they needed a break.
You and I, honestly, we're like kind of like the I don't want to say like the up and comings, but we're the product of them almost, I want to say, because we took something that they were giving and we ran with it. You went with your way, I went with my way. I was able to live in Kalkaska and work at a facility with a 5,000 plant grow. I mean, what the fuck? I was from Cincinnati, Ohio. Are you kidding me? I was a mom. So I'm just like, are you kidding me? This is great what I've been able to do. Wow. Yeah.
So we've got a great community. So when they need a break, there was talks of not letting the show go, but then it was a matter of just keeping it rolling and keeping the StreamYard thing going. So I was just like, no, we can keep it going until they're ready to come back, if they're ever ready to come back. So Michigan Bros, ain't going nowhere. So
nope. And I appreciate you for hanging in there, and I appreciate Red and Becca and Spartan.
Yeah, I appreciate everyone for showing up.
For showing up, being there.
You know how scary it is in the beginning when it's like one person. No, like one person, and it's like 8:58. I'm like, oh shit, is anybody showing up? But you guys always do, so I gotta stop worrying about that. But
I don't think I've missed too many, man.
No, Spartan, you're usually on time. Right after the Cheap Home Grow, shout out to them. That was another show I, started watching. And there's Fergoli.
And sometimes we're fashionably late every week.
Yeah, hey, but he brings the instruments we need for Wake and Bake, so that makes up for it.
That's a good example, Bake. The Cheap Home Grow channel. That show actually started off with like Shane and Scobo and a few other people, absolutely. And now Jack Greenstock's running the reins of that show, and so it's a baton passing moment, and we're just glad that everybody's still here tuning in and kicking it around, and that there's still love. It's an ever-changing market. It's ever-changing, not everybody is also growing like they used to, sharing the types of content that they were, and it's a lot, man. I see it throughout the community everywhere. People coming into the shop pledge, talking about when they used to grow, or stuff like that, and now they're there just hanging out, and it's, I don't know, man. It's a different side of the spectrum to be on, which I'm sure it's just as nice being able to take a rest, because it's a hustle, man.
It is. I mean, I'm working two jobs, and
doing
we're
content.
all just trying to make it. Working two jobs, doing our grow at home. Look at what you guys are doing.
Hell yeah. I dream of defoliation. So
Oh,
I know
yeah.
that's all I do.
But I absolutely still love to defoliate. You can't.
I love it. I love
love
it, but
it.
it doesn't mean I don't get exhausted from like
No,
12-hour days
I
of
do
it,
get exhausted,
where
but
I do it at work and then come home,
And do it again.
Absolutely love
do it again. But it's a passion,
honestly.
and I wouldn't want to do anything else. Repeat it. I used to work mechanics. I used to work retail. That's all the same. You're still repeating something. It's just crappier crap. It's not a plant that's cool to work with. But yeah, I mean,
I wake up every morning and I'm like, "Ooh, what's that smell?" Because we had to move our grow upstairs, so our bedroom is right next to the grow. So it's like,
nice.
as soon as I wake up, I'm like, "Oh, you stink ass bitches."
Speaking of stinky, I got that Mac 1 coming for Fergoli. I took that down. My whole house was just so Mac 1. It was awesome.
Hell yeah.
For
I
like
can't
a
wait, dude.
day. So I got that frozen. But I want to ask Red, is the Fledge took a break today, right? But they're coming back next week, or?
Next week is Hash Bash, so that's
Oh,
the
yeah.
reason that they took a break this week, is because so many people are prepping for Hash Bash next week. So this week and next week are off weeks. It worked out perfect for us because we're actually we're out of product at the moment, and our next harvest is pretty much happening any day now. And then the next Fledge Day will be the 9th, and assuming everything goes well with our harvest, we should be there with our most recent round of flower. So hopefully we can get our harvest up and started here pretty soon. That way everything's nice and dry and cured up.
Heck yeah.
A couple weeks off. I do realize that the 9th is Easter. They haven't really said anything about pulling the plug because it's Easter yet. So we'll see if the day kicks into anything. But
They'll do a stoner egg hunt.
Stoner egg hunt is always fun. It might just
find like dabs or nugs in the eggs.
Last year I did a Stash and Dash egg hunt all the way from Mackinac to Flint.
I remember
basically.
that
was a lot of fun. Good to see you, Skillboy. See you in chat. I saw a story you posted on Instagram today of a disc golf shot. That was good to see. Little some action from you. Miss you, brother. We'll of course I'll be at the Hash Bash Cup this weekend. Still prepping for that. I have 2 runs of Cobra milk in the oven, 2 runs of Lime Skunk in the oven, and then I've got
pour me some of that Cobra milk.
I've got Mr. Lime coming, so that's gonna be Mr. Clean and Lime Skunk, which is Mr. Clean is a Lime Skunk offshoot as it is. I still have to harvest the garlic punch, still have to harvest the clementine. I'll be running that Mac 1 for baked pone. I got more Mr. Clean to harvest. I just harvested some more of that right before the show. I'm gonna have flour of Lime Skunk. I'm gonna have flour of Mr. Clean. I'm gonna have flour of 2 Girls 1 Cup, a new strain.
Right. Okay.
We'll have Cobra milk cookies. We'll have garlic punch cookies. We'll have Lime Skunk cookies. We'll have flights. We'll have topicals. We'll have pre-rolls. We'll have a little bit of everything. So I'm really excited to be there. And I will also be at the Fledge on the 16th to stock you guys up for 420. So April 16th, I'll be back in Lansing. But yeah, man, it's so much work this week. It's gonna be.
Sure, yeah.
I got like 6 or 7 runs to do this week, and baking all the cookies, and rolling all the pre-rolls, and trimming all the flour, and packaging everything, and yeah.
Give me a holla.
Never ending.
I know. I appreciate. Hey, I got to shout out everybody on this panel. Speaking of the community and everything, pretty much, I think just about everybody on this panel has reached out directly to offer help, and I really appreciate it. We have an amazing supportive community. and especially you guys here on this panel. You guys are awesome, and I mean everything from sharing your help to your strains like Cobra Milk to your literal support when I'm running a booth alone next to you, and you guys are awesome. So I appreciate everybody here.
Happy.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
Always
Everybody-
happy.
I'm super excited because I was able to get Saturday off, so I'll definitely be at Hash Bash. I was
Nice.
able to pull it off today. I had to switcheroo and work a bunch of shit to do it, but I'm getting off Saturday.
I gotta catch Medical Mondays tomorrow and win some tickets or something.
I do too.
But
Yeah, that's right. This
Maybe we
is
should
the
just
week
reach out to
before
them
Hash
and say,
Bash.
hey y'all, could you slide us some tickets, please?
shout
Hey,
out to
should,
Medical Mondays. They're
Shout out Medical
tomorrow
Yeah,
9
we should-
p.m. YouTube.
We'll be filming
Yeah.
while we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got some cannabis news that Spartan sent me. Let me bring this
Ooh,
up.
cannabis
It's
news.
it's not really. I guess it's news. It's
You have my permission to smile about it.
yeah. Skymint went into they got sued.
Oh yeah.
And they went into receivership, which means some government third party like takes control of them and tries to get them from having to go bankrupt.
It's not
Which
always
is-
a government third party. Usually it's just like an attorney's office or like
Well,
some
it's
sort of-
government appointed though.
Yeah.
So it's really the government stepping in to a
Yeah.
cannabis business to fix it, which might be the first time that's happened. I'm not too sure. But this is on MLive if you want to check it out.
This is not the
But-
only company. This is just one. There's several cannabis companies in the state now that are under receivership.
Ooh,
I think there's like a half a dozen of them at least, or about 6 of them I thought I saw.
Another one that's in trouble is Gage
Mhm.
Cannabis.
oh,
Oh,
nice.
Just in trouble now?
Gage for the guys behind the cookie license here in Michigan.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're in some big
Oh,
financial
a lot
issues.
of people, the information's, we're putting information out there. Other people are putting the information out there, but people I'm just like meeting here in Ohio, because that's where I'm at again. They don't know that some of the things that go to dispos are not good things. So they think that what they're getting at the dispensaries is good products.
100%.
And sometimes there are situations that skirt around your product getting the best quality that goes out full scale to a dispensary. So my thing is though, is I'm like, you need to get your product from caregivers, because that's going to be the extra love. No pesticides, extra love. You're not using nasty things. There's, proper protocols that are in check. Just because on a human standpoint, people, I don't know. I really feel like caregivers are just about patients. They're not about themselves. Whereas, you've got big companies that are just about the money. And I feel like ultimately, I got into this and switched from the medical side of like caregiving, actual like working in the ER. I switched from doing this because I wanted to give patients a different side of things. More medicine on, from a pharmaceutical basis. So I just feel like a lot of people maybe aren't getting told the real story.
Oh yeah.
I agree with you, Tara. I mean, when I think it's just the human interaction. I'll say because I can tell you about my experience. But when I was a caregiver here in Michigan and the patients that I helped, I saw them, at the very least monthly. I literally talked to them and saw them and handed the
Absolutely.
medicine to their hand. So when you have that connection to your end consumer, of course, you're going to take way more care of that plant than, I've also worked in the commercial scene and I grew many, many plants, but I didn't see the end consumer. I didn't hand it to the end consumer and say, here, I grew this for you. You know what I mean?
Working on that the commercial side of it, honestly, I still gave all of my love to that, because I felt like I switched almost jobs in a certain sense, because I went from working in the ER and taking care of people to taking care of cannabis that resulted in taking care of people.
Yeah.
And I want the best cannabis to take care of those people, because if they have asthma or health, or, heart issues or lung issues, why would they want to smoke cannabis? I mean, that's silly if it's not the best cannabis. It's not the best care for them.
Well, you're the ideal, bud tender from a patient's standpoint, Tara, but you might not be from a business owner standpoint, because
they probably hate me.
Right. And that's the challenge. They might have this, this overstocked item that they need to move quickly to clear out some shelf space, or it's just taking up their whatever, and they might want the bud tenders to move a certain product, right? And that product might not be in the best interest of the patient. And that is just the unfortunate side of doing business at a certain scale, and when it comes down to an individual that's fully vertically integrated, that is growing their own, processing their own, packaging their own, drying, harvesting, whatever, and bringing it to you directly because they know what you need, there's a big difference there. And
we have examples of that for growing. We have Winewood.
Exactly. And that's where I was going with it. There are examples of vertically integrated cannabis businesses that do care about the plants, that do 100%. Care about the customers and their patients. But there's very few of them out there. And when it becomes these massive MSOs that are just growing factories worth of widgets, and they're just shipping these, products to other businesses, and that's where it ends for them. Do you really think they care about you as the end consumer? They don't. And it shows.
No, and the danger is they have the money to affect the regulations to what and set the rules for everybody else, and that's the real hidden danger, and that's the bad part of the system that needs to change right there.
Well,
that's
exactly why people don't know.
Themselves need to take a more proactive basis in what they're getting. I mean, like when even before I met you guys and I was first coming onto this scene trying to figure out my way, I paid attention to those, stickers. I wanted to see when it was processed, when things had been done. I wanted to know how long it had been in that dispensary. I didn't want to smoke something that was 8 months to a year old. I mean, that's silly to me. I have certain ailments that I needed certain things. So if that was sitting in a dispo for 6 months to a year, that's not going to do me any good on certain things. Yes, it might do me good to get me to sleep, but it's not going to do me good for my belly.
And it's probably not going to taste very good. We know that much.
True. But it's not going to taste very good either. But on some things, though, there is a certain people that really don't care about taste. They care just about the high. I can't say that. They don't even really care what they're buying as long as they have some kind of cannabis in their hands. So there's that portion of people too. So there's a very wide range of the spectrum, I feel.
So Blue Kiss in chat just calls it ignorance on the side of the consumers part. And let's be fair, most of the consumers in our beautiful state of Michigan and beyond aren't patients. They don't come from an educated standpoint like all of us do, where we've been growing this plant for years, right? We've been having these conversations at least weekly, if not daily. Most people don't have these types of conversations. They're not educated like we are, and they're not involved to the depths we are. So yeah, it might be ignorance, it might be lack of education, but I mean, what can we do to change that? It's almost,
on my part is a strong word.
I think it's just literally time.
You got to put time in. Exactly.
Well, it's time. It's time and like for instance, like let's say like Florida. I came from Florida. They have a crappy laws. They get all excited. I call it the honeymoon phase. Oh, sick, it's legal. I'm not going to get busted. They go there, they get some bullcrap weed or some distillate. It's overpriced, but it's tasty to them and it gets them ripped because it's better than what they had 30 years ago. They don't care. Finally, though, that starts hitting their wallet because you're also paying $180 every 6 or 7 months. When I was there, that's your renewal for your card.
Don't forget.
And so.
Of them.
But let me paint a picture. You got those people starts hitting their wallet. All right, well, Florida has a lot of people. They have kids and relatives and friends all over the country. So they fly to Colorado, some fly to Cali, some fly to Michigan. They're hanging out and they're like, "Oh yeah, you guys got weed here, right?" And they're like, "Yeah, let's go to Dispo." And they go there and they're like, "What the fuck? $20 grams of way better diamonds and sauce." In Colorado and stuff, and like They just figure it out. Then they go back and they go, oh, and you can grow at home. Oh, fuck that. All we can do is buy from some corporate giant. So now, like I heard in Florida, they got a couple bills that some people are trying to push through for home grow for different laws. So there's more than I think 40 licenses throughout the whole state. But I think it just takes time. It takes reiteration and time, but it does start with ignorance. That's what Spartan said. They get the money, the big boys get the money, and they play the lobby game. And I've watched it happen in Florida. They send out pamphlets that look awesome. They make it seem like they're the cool guys. They're the ones legalizing weed, man. But they don't. They just leave it all the real parts off. They don't say we're not going to include home grow. They just don't mention home grow.
Well, and there's some people think that
they just say weed's going to be legal. You're going to be able to buy this and be okay.
Yeah, but people think too, like when you bring up lobby, people think like some nefarious, we're taking you out to buy new cars. No, sometimes it's not even that. Sometimes it's just a lobbyist going up there and saying, "Hey, I'm so and so from the such and such lobby. I represent the biggest cannabis companies in the state, and we've got some changes that we think you could help us make the industry better." And they just believe them because that's the only voice that they hear coming in talking about cannabis. So you have to be me, and you go down there and you hand them a card that you make yourself about yourself, and you say, no, there's other voices. Let me educate you about cannabis, and I'll do it for free, and you don't have to make any changes, and you can leave it the same, and I can tell you why.
Oh, but they don't like to leave things the same because then they can't put their name on a bill, and that's one of
no, they don't have to leave the same, because then if there's somebody that's actually ambitious, which there's not very many of them for Grow League, not with giving more freedoms, they're not really ambitious on that front,
right? But
if you find a few that are usually young, then you can say, yes, I can help you answer questions, and I can suggest changes that would be positive to help this, and then we can make this better.
You made a key point with the young folk there, because the way the older folk operate, it seems, is the way the lobbyists operate with those older regulators is they write the laws for them. They show up with this 40-page document that says, here, put your name on this and submit it. It's perfect. You don't have to make any changes, sponsor this bill and we'll move forward together. And that's how a lot of these things work, and that's why it's like so important to be in at that grassroots level. I think I've shared this story before, but early on, gosh, like 2015, 16, 17, something like that, I had this meeting with a I guess you could call it a urinalysis company. They did testing for narcotics via urinalysis, and they said that they could tell you how much. Let's use Vicodin, for example, how much Vicodin you took, when you took it, basically just based on your piss sample, they could tell you, what drugs are in your system and how much and how long ago you took it. They were trying to do that with cannabis. And this is, 7-8 years ago at this point. I have a feeling that they probably figured it out at this point. No, who knows how long it takes to make those patents and whatever, commercial or whatever. But this is also someone that was involved directly. There were 2 of the seats on the, I think, like 5-person panel for the testing board. So the board that the state put forward to basically write the rules for the testing side of the cannabis industry here in Michigan. 2 of those people were coming from the pharmaceutical urinalysis side of things, and that's where they wanted to take it. I'm just like, I'm out. This is not where this is supposed to be going. I don't want anything to do with this, But when I saw it, man, it's just like, it's just such a dirty, like, that lobby industry is just, it's more than what you're really seeing, more than meets the eye.
But it's a freedom in our Constitution that's being exploited. So the freedom for us to talk to our representatives, and they're just paying people. The part that's terrible is that's what should be illegal. That's what they should draft legislation is to. It shouldn't be ever illegal to go talk to a congressperson or a representative, for sure. But I think that you should only be able to talk to a representative if you're not being paid to do so. Lobbyists get paid. That's their job. They get paid money. Some of them they get paid. That is their job. They're supported, and they get paid to camp, to be there every day and to talk to as many lawmakers as you can to try to push an agenda. They get paid to do that. So that's hard to that's really hard to combat when most everybody else is at another job to try to work.
Takes
and they
a
don't
lot
have
of money.
access. Yeah, they don't have access to lawmakers in business hours. It's a real big leg up to just be able to pay a lobbyist to do it. So
I would say, back to the original article, the Skymint article, and Organically Blunt earlier, he's in chat, shout out him. He earlier this week, he did a little drive-through to, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 provisioning centers at like 5 o'clock during rush hour, and like all the parking lots were empty. Skymint is they're going into receivership. They haven't been able. Price of weed is 2 ounces for $100, $50 an ounce, $30 an ounce. These places that are going out of business have the cheapest weed, and they're still
It's
going.
very disheartening.
Well, I would say that the consumers are being educated. I think that they are, because they're not going to those places. You know what I mean? They're seeing they're getting educated in just what is available there. They're seeing the batch dates, the shelf dates.
I
They're
hope
like
that
18 months old. And when you see some weed from 2 years ago, you're like, what the fuck? Here's what gets me.
My thing is I hate to see businesses fail. I don't like to see any business fail. But when you're being like not forthcoming and dishonest, then that's the perfect set, And the places that are disappearing right now, those are the people that have shot themselves in the foot.
Oh yeah, they deserve it 100%.
Absolutely.
Red,
tried getting rid of us in the first place.
Red, I hate to say it, but I bet you it's 1 out of every 100 customers that actually checks the date on their product before they leave the store and does something about it. Because I'm telling you, I think it's a supply and demand issue, and it's an oversaturation. It's a regulatory issue. It's, we got too big too fast. The economy has changed very quickly in the last years.
That's the other thing. I don't think people know to check it.
90% of the corporate shit out there
that
these big guys are putting out is trash. It's under mids.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think people have just learned because, you buy it, you buy from the dispo. Cool, I'm excited. Oh shit, for whatever reason I buy from Red, or I went to the Fledge because my girlfriend said let's go do something or something, and I bought some caregiver weed and I went, why the fuck, excuse me sir, why does your weed taste so good? I buy from the dispensary all the time. And you go, because I grow with passion. I put good nutrients in it, blah, blah, blah. And you explain why. And now they're not going back to dispensary. Now they're coming to the Fledge.
You say they're not going back, but I sure know a lot of people that are still buying $80 ounces because that's either all they can afford.
I mean, some are. Sometimes the wallet, is all you.
I just still feel
so it's like
people don't know enough about the product that are buying those $50, $80, $100 ounces. They don't know what the fuck they're getting. They have no idea that that's remediated bullshit.
Well,
it might not be remediated. There might even be just one batch.
The shelf dates. The shelf date alone.
Crap that they
like
just put out.
There's no point in mandating potency testing if you're going to allow a shelf date of 18 months, because the potency of one of those products is completely different than what it was when it was tested. Like, they should either not mandate potency testing and just allow people that do their potency testing to have a marketing advantage, you know what I mean? Or every 6 and 8 months, 12 months, you have to get your shit potency tested because you probably converted to a little bit of CBN, lost a bit of THC, gained a bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what I mean?
Sleep.
Hey, you know what? I got a question for you guys. Why is there expiration date for edibles in the state, but not for flower?
There you go.
Because of the food product, because of the food shelf
life.
Yeah, but I would argue that something I'm inhaling into my lungs is a lot more.
What's your expiration
volatile
date on buds in a jar?
I mean, for me personally, I'm not smoking anything I grow that's older than 3 months. But I also smoke enough of what I grow.
Over a year old before, man.
No, I have done it, but I
just
don't
shit
need
for
to.
Years.
I understand what you can do. I have bud in jars from 2015 still.
Safely.
Yep, I've got it. It's ready to go. I'm just not interested in
It's not-
smoking it because I have fresher stuff, but I have access. So that's the difference. I'm not saying that's the limit and should be a state regulatory thing or anything, but I'm saying that's my arbitrary limit.
I really think that, I mean, I started working in a licensed company, right? And it was a more medicinal side of a company, but they did not really teach me what we were selling. And they told me all kinds of buzzwords to sell these fucking distillate vapes, you know, easy shit. And it's just not real education. It wasn't until I met Red and you guys and the community of caregivers and really started learning from other people who use it medicinally, like that there's such a difference. And it's unless you have caregivers as bud tenders, like it's just stupid to compare it to a bartender, right? Like that's just stupid because it's not. These people are like really just telling consumers how best to get fucked up. What's the highest percentage? What
Basically,
you know, it's
Coolest packaging.
they're coming in all day. What's the most expensive thing you've got? Like,
which is totally crappy because you know what? I feel like if I was like, okay, if this was me, I'd be like, I'm going to sell you under. I'm going to sell you at the lowest THC that I can possible because that's going to keep you coming back for many, many weeks to come. Whereas they just like bust you out on 29%. It's like, why? That's stupid.
We'll start you off with this fentanyl, then we're gonna try to sell you some Vicodins.
I mean, there's this argument that Georgia Grow guy throws out that I've heard a lot. You know, there's Budweiser, there's McDonald's, there's cigarettes, there's cheap ones. Sure, but there's also expensive alcohol and that all that still sells every day. All the expensive 100%. Shit sells,
and I don't think anyone here is trying to be Budweiser or McDonald's.
Ain't nobody here exactly trying to be Budweiser.
And there's still people that fucking making their own beer at home. That's way the fuck better, and making their own hamburgers at home. That's way the fuck better.
I always bring that up is the huge wave that happened, I don't know, in the last 10, 15 years of like small town breweries. And I don't know, it happened in the South and I know it's up here.
Yeah, but in the fucking mountains.
They're all pumping. Yeah, some drop off here and there, but another will pop up because dude just brewed his own tasty, mix and everyone's got to have it. And that starts one. So it's a yin and yang, but I don't know.
I really think that the overall, and I've actually, I said this on the steps to the Capitol, man. I said it in front of everybody. I think there really is room for everyone. There's room for the Budweiser, and that's access. That makes me happy for access because there's people who can't afford or can't otherwise get or grow or whatever the reason get cannabis. Now they can get it for fairly cheap price. It's not the best, but it's something, and they can get some relief. So that doesn't make me mad. What makes me mad is when they take their profits, instead of taking that profit to try to make a better product, they take that money to hire a lobbyist to try to make it more difficult for the people that are making the better products. You know what I mean? And trying to edge them out and keep the quality low. That's where I get under my skin, and that's where I get upset.
I will say one of the things about like McDonald's, Subway, Budweiser, some of these like massive corporations that are distributed, to every town in America. I'll tell you what, man, you buy a freaking Big Mac in, Muskegon, Michigan, it's going to be the same ass Big Mac you're going to get in San Diego, California.
Yeah, but how many years of SOPs have they had,
Oh, no. I listen, like, I get it, but I'm just saying consistency does sell. Like, it doesn't have to be quality. And certainly there's, price points and other things that go into it, but like, they got the consistency down. Doesn't mean it's quality, but it's really consistent.
Oh yeah, but you still I hear a lot about Five Guys burgers and they're twice expensive.
Oh, they're probably 5 times more expensive.
5 times expensive.
Five Guys.
So but they still there's a middle ground. There's room for everyone. So it is like Spartan said, like go buy a fucking boat with your profits. We talked about this once. I remember it's like, I'd rather you have $1 million house or 5 of them than you put the money into lobbying to keep the little people out to get that extra 10% of the market or whatever that's left. But I think, obviously time and keeping platforms like this are crucial. The internet and like, which is you know, the new newspaper, the new TV. It's crucial. This is a free platform where we're, you know, and other shows obviously we're able to get on here and tell everyone, MCMA, hey, look out for these brands. Look out for these brands. They made the graphic with all the brands on it. That got passed around a million times for a year and a half. MCMA is gone.
Shout out to Berg and
You know?
Roche. That was a lot of work that they
Exactly.
put circulating
Medical
that.
Mondays again.
Yep.
So, you know, it takes time, and just you got it's that whole cliche bullshit from movies and books and everything. Keep at it. Keep at it.
You know what?
Keep the hope or whatever,
Take time.
and keep the drive. But
Keep at it.
Hey, you know what? And there's
everyone has
7
their
of us.
down days, but you gotta keep going.
There's 7 of us here, and we're talking to about just shy of 125 people right now. That's like 18 people for each one of us.
There's 6 of us.
Okay, so there's 6 of us. This is why we don't do math live.
Hello.
I'm like, am I fucked up? I'm like looking for somebody else. Yeah, I did that without pointing back. I was like, I can't point. 1, 2. Yeah.
It's my other personality.
You're
that's
good,
sitting
you're
next
good.
to me, I counted, you know.
I should just show him out, but no.
But no, I mean, seriously though, think about it. Like, this is a small thing for us to do, you know what I mean, in the grand scheme of things. But if we're educating 15 to 20 people, like, you know, every week for each individual of us, and like each one of those goes out and educates even 2 people, you know, that grows pretty quickly. So yeah, it's word of mouth. It's going to take time, but we got to keep doing our part and putting out the truth, because I mean, there are things that matter, and guess what? THC percentage isn't one of them.
I just
And
feel like
I don't.
out to one person is a great advantage. I mean, just one person to just give them some knowledge. I mean, because that just took one time that I got the knowledge that I was able to prosper from where I was. So it's like it just takes one person to do that. I mean, it was just me, and I've gone sprouts here, sprouts there. I've learned here. I've talked to this. I've done this. And it's like, wow, it's amazing.
Well,
That's
you're
the
exactly
thing.
what you said, Tara. Sprouts too, because they'll tell people. You know, that's what's great about it. But sometimes
Like
I say,
mycelium.
sometimes I say, yeah, I change people's minds more from what I do, not what I say. And what I mean by that is, I'll hand them a thing of RSO and like heal them or heal someone that they love, and they tell everybody. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to do anything else. You know what I mean? And they tell everybody, and they tell everyone, and it's just, I don't know. Sometimes you can just do things.
I think
be a good neighbor. You know.
It's one ladder rung at a time, and the first ladder rung had to be getting the flood of bullshit and you know, like MCMA and corporate kind of quelled, and that's where we're kind of at. Hopefully, we can keep it quelled and crush, you know, a little bit more of the big guys, and keep, you know, so that the market levels back out.
Not
now that that's done, the next rung will be education of like, hey, public, the THC is not what you're looking for. Let's you know, and terps and stuff like that. So you know, you got to tackle it one time, and then again, it takes time.
Terps are definitely a lot harder, because it's like, I feel like I don't even know where to go with that one in terms of like educating someone that has no idea about them. But
I do.
I'll tell you what, man.
The solution is get away from percentages and just give me top 3 cannabinoids or top 5 cannabinoids, top 5 terpenes. You know, pick a number, 3, 5, whatever it is, and then you can make educated guesses from that way more than you can with any fucking percentage numbers next to those numbers.
For sure. So what I've been going to the same gas station for about 3 years, right, to fill up, you know, almost on the daily whenever I'm not hitting Costco or whatever to try to find it cheaper. But I walk into this gas station. I've seen many employees come and go, and you know, a few nights ago, maybe like a week ago, I walk in, and one of the ladies that I've, you know, seen for at least 6 months or whatever, she's kind of like stretching her back, doing one of these things that we all, you know, as old people, we start to do, you know. And I'm like, what's going on? You know, whatever. You have a good solid weekend, you know, what have you. You know, she starts telling me about all these problems she's had, and you know, she's 6 years old now, and she had rheumatoid
arthritis.
Yeah, she's got that now, but it's like a fever, a rheumatoid fever or something when she was younger. She was trying to explain it to me. But bottom line, we had this 15-minute discussion. I go, you know, hold on. I'm going to run out to my car. I've got a jar of lotion out there. I want you to try it.
Of you.
the next week, or not even the next week, a few days later, I come in and she's like, "You won't believe how well that and how quickly that helps." She goes,
Yeah.
"I just came out of the back. I just put some on my, my lower back, blah, blah, blah." I mean, actually, I will believe it because you're probably the 200th person that told me that in the last 5 years, and it's, I just wanted to share this with you because guess what? I don't like taking pills. I don't like taking pain pills. So I'm just going to rub some lotion on my back. There's a reason I started growing this, and guess what? It helps her tremendously. She's asking already for another jar. Unfortunately, I keep missing her when her shift is and all this stuff. But yeah, I mean, there's things like that are like a cannabis topical. She never heard of that before, but the fact that that's helping her now, she doesn't have to worry on the daily about all this pain that she's going through. Like those are the minor things that I think make massive changes on a societal cultural scale.
Absolutely. When my 76-year-old mom asked me to get another rollerball from her from Skilbo, I knew that we were in business because she is like against everything. I mean, alcohol, everything. She's against it all. And when she said, this helped, I was like, okay, here we go. Thank you, Ma.
Super.
Right on the neck. Let's go. I got a big week.
I got two today.
Cheers, Daddy Red.
I gave my dad and my grandma some RSO for the first time. My dad's been like dabbling with edibles, and my grandma kind of asks me because she's got really bad knee pain. And so today I brought them like some empty capsules and some RSO and wrote out instructions for them. And I was like, seriously, a small amount. super small.
I gave my ex-husband some RSO of Spartans last time I went home to Cincinnati because he's very into his body. He does not like a lot of sugar. So I knew he wouldn't want gummies or chocolate, but I knew he needed edibles. He didn't really want to be smoking because he was kind of getting anxiety. So I knew he needed kind of something a little different. And that's why I sent him home with that. And he was very, very, very much against it. He was like, "You're giving me black tar heroin." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." I was like, "Please just try this on a little cookie, a little piece of bread, a little piece of tuna, whatever," because he's into his body.
Say, no, this is better.
He has
Batman.
that he has had relief. He has had benefits that have been good. And he doesn't have to have the sugar content from gummies or whatnot, the RSO, FICO, whatever you want to call it. He really has felt it. And I know he was really against it because of the way it looked and that kind of thing. So for him to even try it, that was huge. So when people can reach out and try these different methods of edibles per se, FICO, RSO, that's huge because that gets rid of a lot of like sugar and worthless bullshit you got to enter into your system when you can just go to the Gusto and get the medicine.
Hey, and listen, we know that RSO comes in a syringe. It doesn't have a needle on it. It's not black tar heroin. It's fucking fantastic for you. It looks scary the first time you see it. And guess what? THCA diamonds. It's not crack rocks, people. It's okay. I promise.
But it says it like it is.
No crack rocks. No crack rocks here.
I want to shout out Anything Grows for a lot of things. One, my beard. She's touched up my beard. Is looking amazing. So shout out for that. The edibles. She's working on cookies. I ate one of those before the show.
Hell yeah.
But I learned something today this weekend from her that I thought was super interesting that applies here with the topicals. So I guess I didn't know this, but we have receptors in our skin. So, and that's why the topicals work, because I was having a conversation with her. I said, I wonder how it actually brings the relief, because I know our skin's too thick for it to get into our bloodstream, because you can use topicals and not worry about testing. And she's like, no, I just heard in this podcast that there's receptors in your skin.
The highest concentration of endocannabinoid receptors are at your skin, people.
Yeah, and so you have to take tolerance breaks from topicals.
I was getting messed up from yours, Fragoli. I've been putting it on my wrists, and I swear a couple times I was so high from it.
Seriously?
Like, it could not have been It's the oil. The oil's a carrier. It needs
Wow.
something to grab onto to get into your skin, and certain
Yeah.
kinds bring it more. Very similar to in your stomach, right? Like
I got a full body massage last week from a professional masseuse, and she used it, and I didn't feel a thing. So it's kind of it's mind blowing to me that
Though too.
I put like a
maybe.
this is really thin skin, so there's some companies that sell patches and stuff for here because
Yeah.
it's such thin
Very
skin.
thin.
And I think because I was layering it on there, I was like, I barely smoked. Like, I don't know why I feel like this.
Interesting.
And I think it was from
Well, I better change my pitch then, because I tell people it's not going to give you any psychedelic effects, because I've never once felt that. But this is actually the first time I've heard that.
But you might want to tell people if they're long term using it to like, hey, take a couple weeks
Yeah,
off.
I need to
If you
promise.
find that you have to use more and it's not working as well, take a couple weeks
Yeah.
off and then
Well,
go back to it.
Here's the thing about that. I've never built a tolerance to it. I've been using it for 5 years since I started making it. I've never built a tolerance to it.
You mean so you've never put on you're putting on the same amount now that you did before? You haven't increased the amount that you've put on?
No, the same
Sounds
amount,
like you
same
just said you
dosage,
dipped your
same
whole damn
recipe.
body in it. That seems like quite a bit.
Well, I do that, and I don't feel anything. Yes,
Well, it seems like, well, I dip my whole body in it every day. I haven't.
no, not every day. That's like a once every 2 months kind of thing. But
it's probably just me.
Well, that's a tolerance break then in between the 2 months.
I mean, I'm still using it every day on my hands and neck and stuff like that. You just saw me use the roller ball on my neck. I strained a nerve in my neck last week, and I've been having some real neck issues. So I've been getting essentially daily massages from Mrs. Frigoli on my neck with my lotion, and it certainly helps. It allows me to continue to work and everything. But I've got, sports injuries in my back and neck and, all sorts of stuff. So it's just, I formulated it for me, but it turns out it's helped hundreds of people since I started making it. And
I guess
it's just, man, I had no idea about topicals, so it's like one of those things, like that's like the highest medicinal value thing I have, I think, is a topical.
And I think
it's so easy to use.
And I think it's the most universally accepted. Like you're going to get most people to try that before most anything else.
You know what? That's fair. I got my aunt who never smoked a joint in her life to try it after years of battling cancer and being in remission and everything. And then her finally trying it and being surprised about it. I'm like, I've been telling you, like, I've been trying to help. I'm not, trying to get you stoned or something, like, relax. And now she's like, okay, she trusts me with it. So it's kind of cool. But, I just, again, I wish more people knew about it, man.
What I came across with in my topical research was that CBD has a better water solubility, and it will absorb through it'll absorb into your skin more readily or easier, or I don't know, without assistance of a carrier oil or anything like that. As opposed to THC, where if you don't have the carrier oil or any additional assistance, you kind of have to massage it into the muscle to kind of get it to go in. It's always a little better to give it a little extra rub.
Heat.
Yeah, a little bit of heat.
Kind of makes sense.
And then CBD just being a CB2 agonist, which is, your muscular
Yes, please. That's what I need.
Skin, your skin's attached to your CB2 receptors. All of that stuff makes it an excellent complement to a THC dominant, oil or topical. Having a little bit of maybe a 1-to-1 or even a 2-to-1.
So I'm actually at a 100-to-1 ratio because I'm using single source oil. I don't do any kind of like specific CBD or CBG or any sort of extraction. I just do a full spectrum oil, and I get it tested and put it into my topical. Well, it turns out the full spectrum of plants I grow turns out to be an extract of about 100 milligrams of THC to 1 milligram of CBD. Yeah, so I'm getting about 300 milligrams of THC in a jar and 3 milligrams of CBD. Okay. A lot of times people ask me, if it's CBD or not. And I tell them no, it's THC, because it turns out for me that's what that's what helps in terms of pain relief. And if you want to go try a CBD thing too, that's fine. But I'm telling you, this isn't going to get you high. Now I got to check myself because of what Becca said. But at the same time, have you guys ever heard about anything regarding THCA being more or at least in term, I guess not more effective, but having effect
Medicinal.
transdermally. Yes.
I've heard it medicinally, but I haven't heard of it having any kind of a psychoactive like
Right.
Yeah.
So it's non-psychoactive, but I've heard transdermally, that's actually the way to go. Now, I still decarb my oil, but I've also not decarbed it 100% all the way because from what I understand, there is some benefit to having THCA in there as well. So
THC is anti-inflammatory. So that's why you're getting the pain relief from it, and it's better. It's more anti-inflammatory than CBD. So
THC or THCA?
both.
Okay.
THCA would be anti-inflammatory. You're just not really going to get high off it. It's going to have a lot of the same properties. Really, different
I can get this open. Getty sent me home with this, and it's decarb rosin. And I use this for my tooth. I got a bad tooth, and I'll put this on a toothpick or a cotton ball, and it's decarbed rosin, and I will literally just place it on the inside of my tooth wherever I have pain, and it numbs it up completely numbs it up, and I have no issues for a couple days. So
that's awesome.
This is like, I hang on to this, and this is like my savior right now because I do have a bad tooth. So right here, it's
Clove oil too.
This is decarb rosin, and I just literally toothpick or Q-tip, place it in my bad tooth on the side of the gum, and I am freaking good to go. Phenomenal. Or honestly, I will take a little bit of this too with a little bit of coconut oil. Shout out to Getty. He told me this. He does this with a little bit of coconut oil on an ache and pain. Does wonders. I mean,
I was going to say, if you need to combine it with an oil, whether you're ingesting it or even rubbing on your skin, coconut oil is a great carrier. I'll tell you what, guys, having decarbed oil around is great. Whether it's rosin, BHO, or anything.
I have no idea.
This is what I consider my food grade oil. This is what we make our edibles and topicals with. All it is decarb, quote unquote, food grade oil. That's it. Activated, ready to go. You could drop a spoonful and see you next week.
It's good stuff. So I hang on to this. This is really good stuff and very powerful. And I really never thought that this really could like cut the pain kind of thing, because I have aches and pains all over my body, but I've never actually had a toothache kind of shut out, and this did it 100%. No,
good.
Ooh.
I had
from Spartan.
I had a root canal, upper molar, the 4 roots.
Oh my gosh, I remember when you did that
this time last year, and I only took RSO after that, and
I remember that.
Yeah, I remember now too.
Yeah, I mean, it was slightly uncomfortable still. It sucked, but I mean,
if more people knew the medicinal benefits of it, and instead of reaching for an opioid, it's just, even not even an opioid, just like Tylenol or ibuprofen. I don't even need to do that. If I have this, I don't even do that. So it's
unfortunately, it's not. That's one of those things that it's not available to many.
I know.
mean, we're talking to a lot of people now, and then if it were available, it's so expensive. So,
but it's not when you get it through some of us. So just reach out.
That's right, exactly. If you get through the kid, it's another benefit of the caregiver market. It's like
that's absolutely true. My sister-in-law had stomach bypass surgery, and she really loves gummies, but I don't like how much sugar she's taken in. And so I was like, I really would like to introduce you to RSO Fico. And she was like, oh, I don't know about this. And I was like, but you can get a rice grain full of 100 milligrams instead of eating 4 gummies. That's going to raise your sugar 200 milligrams. Why would you not do that? And she honestly was like, okay, I think I see your point. Once I sent her home with some and she started experimenting with it, she was like, yeah, I get it. So this really is honestly a good product. I mean, people, Big Pharma is the one doesn't want to promote us, but this really honestly is phenomenal for people.
So I don't want to make you guys guess. Well, yeah, let's screw it. You guys got any idea what the
we want to give a sound. No, you got to give us a sound.
Oh, you're going to make, okay. All right. I'll make you guys guess.
Go ahead.
It's gonna sound very similar to something else, but it's not. Hold on.
Oh, that's a stupid hint.
Oh, it's almost
terrible hint. Here we go.
I gotta wait till it's 10 o'clock.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Keep it going for 30 seconds. Fill
Yeah,
the
we
air.
got
Fill-
20
all right, there we go.
seconds. So I'm about to dab some Winewood. I did a half and half SFV, SFVOG and Han Solo Burger.
I
And,
went SFVOG myself.
oh yeah, I like that one, but I usually mix it.
Sounds like a symbol.
Symbol? Some sort of symbol?
Sound like
I'm
a
gonna say
symbol to me.
a metal trash can lid.
It's a China symbol. It's
China
basically a
symbol.
mini gong. It's not as cool as a gong, but it's got a similar
Oh,
sound.
the Gong Show. Who remembers the Gong Show? Oh God, it's just me.
Are you showing your age?
Fucking
I'm not willing to admit it. I'm not willing to admit it.
Okay, so I'm the oldest one here then.
Where's Skilbo when you need him?
I know. That's all right. I can take the old person. It's okay.
We've got some clementine over here.
Hoo.
I've been using my blender lately.
Oh,
I remembered how much I liked it when I showed it off.
love the blender.
Mhm.
Turbometer.
Let's see. I got some Dolce de Fresca from Yeti Stash and some Papaya Power from Yeti Stash. And, it's Strawberry Bubs. Those are our 3 newest ones besides, I might say this wrong, Super Gremlin. And it might be Sour Gremlin, but I think it's Super Gremlin, but I may be wrong. It's something Gremlin. It's S Gremlin.
That's Gremlin.
Oh my gosh. It
How do
is
people-
fucking like dirty diaper when you dab this shit. It's like
Yeah.
stank
How
ass.
do people
dirty
get Yeti?
diaper. This
How do
is like
people get-
abolished all over because he loved the dirty diaper.
You get a dirty
And
diaper.
it's dirty diaper all the way.
I had
all the way.
I had that Apollo 13 for years.
So-
I got rid of it a couple years ago. It was super cheesy. And I found a seed that was labeled Apollo 13. And it had come out of the plant. It was a bag seed from 2018. And it popped. One of the seed spaces that we lost the seed, it decapitated itself with its seed cap not coming off. And we got rid of it and planted that little sucker, and that little sucker came up. It aged at my birthday. So we might have an Apollo 13, a little baby diaper. I like that flavor, Tara. Funky.
Yeah, totally fun. It's totally funky. I mean, it's like, so like, I don't know. Yeti kind of like profiles kind of are like sweets and gassy kind of thing. And this Super Gremlin is like stank ass, like dirty diaper and just like, ooh. So it's like really unique, I feel like, for him. And it was really great to grow it too, because it was one of my favorites. That and the papaya power were 2 of my favorites that we harvested. And it's super curious to see how they rolled out, because I don't think we're keeping the papaya power. So that was a really great smell, but the high on it is just not where it needs to be. We have a Strawberry Bubs that is phenomenal, and a Dolce. Hold on, let me get it right. It's Dolce Le Fresca. So super fancy.
Hell
Great
yeah.
things to come.
What is that one's flavor? Like, what's the terpene profile on that fancy one? Is it like a caramely flavor?
It sounds familiar.
We looked this up. It's from Bloom. We looked it up. Bloomco.
It was black maple
Thank
and
you.
something.
Yes, thank you.
How do you spell Fresca? Leche. That's what it is.
It's
Leche.
Fresa. But that's funny you say the black maple, because we just ran the black maple straight for him too. And I haven't got to smell that yet. So I just got to see the little profile of it when it was in the jar, but it's hard to like, once it gets pressed, it's great. but it needs a couple days to like cure up and give the best flavor ever, I feel. And you can smell it one day as soon as it's pressed, but 2 days later it's going to be completely different. And I just love this. It's really an awesome freaking it's awesome. My mouth waters daily. I mean, Endless Summer's brother just moved from Colorado to work with us, and he literally was working with me, and he's like, what do you do about your mouth watering? And I was like, I don't know, I haven't been able to figure it out yet. It just waters on empty all day long.
Gotta grow a beard. It's like having a sponge that soaks it up.
It
You know?
He's got one. It doesn't help. He has one. It didn't help. Yet he has one. It doesn't help. It's just flavor on flavor on flavor on flavor on flavor. It's phenomenal. As it would be, I feel like, to work with Fergoli too, because when you're pressing or blasting or whatever, I don't know exact the process, but I feel like you're giving off those terps no matter where you are. So
I got to get you over to harvest some, not even necessarily harvest, just to work on some lime
yeah,
skunk.
I would love to.
There's no way you come out of my garden without just arms that will stick to a wall if you slap into it. You know, it's insane. If if Mrs. Fergoli doesn't wear full length sleeves, gloves, like, and everything, like, she busts out and like the rashes and stuff. Fortunately, I don't have like the allergy. Yeah, but lime skunk is one of those ones that whether you're dry trimming it, wet trimming it, whatever, you just in there lollipop it. It's so freaking potent. It's just it's messing you up every time.
I'd love to help you.
Yeah.
Does lime skunk reek like in veg?
You know what? Unless you're messing with it, like if you're, you know, when you walk by it, like
yeah.
If you're brushing up
that's
against
a sign. That's a sign of like that's Donnie Burger. Donnie Burger. You walk by it, especially when you gotta move those plants. Even in veg, they're just putting off the same smell. You're like, holy shit.
It's affected by, one plant, and it might not be another plant, and bake might get affected by one plant, not another. It's crazy how it affects everybody.
I don't get affected by any plants. I was made for this plant.
Don't say that.
Dude.
I'm confident as fuck. The other day, my coworkers were on the other side of the fucking table. And I'm just fucking, what are you talking about? Oh, here comes the boss. Comes right in, immediately goes, oh shit, god damn. And I was like, what are y'all talking about? I don't know why you guys have like the biggest eyes or something.
Biggs, I got a question for you.
Going through.
I got a question for you. Are you allergic to poison ivy? Have you ever encountered poison ivy?
I don't think so, because I never got it. Like, and we used to play outside in Florida all the time.
Spartan,
and stuff.
do you have the same allergy to cannabis like Tara's talking about? You do?
He's who I learned has
my theory is false. I thought it might have like a similar thing to poison ivy, because I could dive into a bush, and I know I say this and it's gonna change in my life because that's how things work. But I could dive into a bush of poison ivy, come out unscathed, no problem whatsoever.
That's awesome.
I mean, their arms are destroyed. Like,
but the more times you get
exposed to Native Americans.
See, that's what I've heard, Spartan. That's why I'm like terrified of it.
That's why I don't fucking do. Yeah, I just stay away. I mean,
but that's what I'm worried about with cannabis too, because that's why I'm like, maybe like there's a similar thing, you know.
But
I've never had the issue until I was around the whole giant room of it.
Was Do-si-do. Do-si-do was the one that affected my skin, affected my breathing, and that was the only one that I've ever come in contact in the growing that I've had in. What little growing I've had in, Do-si-do was the one that fucked me up.
It seems like it's a pollen thing more than anything.
Mine was
pollen. So, you open up a room of Donnie Burger and immediately Spartans.
Sorry, I shouldn't say pollen, but it's. I would compare it. It's trichomes. I think trichomes in the air also. Maybe
I don't
that's
think
the
so,
asthma
because
connection.
he was fine with Boof, and Boof throws them in the air. But Donnie Burgers and GMO strains it was the terps.
And wedding cake.
Okay.
And wedding cake, yeah. Anything with wedding cake.
Really? Wedding cake did it for you too, huh?
Well, because that's the thing, lime skunk, you could slam it against the wall and it might stick to it, but it's not throwing trichomes off, right? It's just so
Yeah,
that's that
super
like,
proof will throw them off.
right,
when
dude.
you're
I knocked
harvesting.
into my Mr. Clean. Like I was trimming my garlic punch last night, some fan leaves off of it, right? Prepping it for harvest. And all I'm doing is trimming fan leaves. I'm not pulling on this thing. I'm not like barely doing anything to it. And I'm looking and I just see these sprays of what it looks like mushroom spores, right? But it's not, it's trichomes. That's because I'm just enough shaking that the scrognut, and these heads, they just fall off. It's just one of those like hash plants,
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
And it's not powdery mildew. I've seen what that does.
Trust
me, I've seen powdery mildew explode too. That's terrifying.
He shall not be named.
Very terrifying. It sucks. So I'm let's see, going on week 4 here, and we have I think we're up to 6 or 7 strains right now. I just kicked the Pink Death Bubba because it couldn't catch up, so I did a Spartan kick. I literally looked at Nut Tree and I looked at him and I was like, this is not catching up. She had some bud sets on her, but we're week 4. You should be having hairy bud sets, not just little sprouts. So I was like, I don't want to do this, but I think we need to Spartan kick it. He's like, all right, let's Spartan kick it. So we Spartan kicked it. So she's out. So we got more room and we spread out our profile and our scrognet, and we've got a nice group of ladies going. I mean, our chems, Jesus goodness sakeys. The chems are like every day. Woo! Every day. I'm not kidding you. Every day. Right there. Going, praying.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. So right now, everything that we have, I feel like every bud set is just about equal. We're just nice. I really like to keep things close in and tucked in. Everybody's about 1.5 inches, if not closer, tucked in. We have really got a nice spread going. I think this is going to be really good.
Everything you're growing looks good. Every time you post a canopy, I'm like, oh, that's a perfect even canopy. I love that you're using the tent poles without the tent.
I
know. It looks like so spacious and easy to work with. You can tell you're a commercial grower because once you have space to work, it's like can't go back. I was just talking about that with Skeet.
And that's the hardest thing because honestly, I've been dealing with 6 rooms with 500 plants per room. So I'm like, I had to hold myself back from what we popped, and right behind me I got 47 clones in Lungals right now. So I'm ooh, I probably should get in check, but it's hard to kick anything right now because, okay, so here's my rationality. Everything we got up right now flowering because we're week 4, I have no idea what they're going to do. On a couple things, I do know what they will do, but not all of them. So that's why I've kept as many clones as I did. Otherwise, I would not keep this many clones. Once I can see what everybody's going to do, produce, that kind of thing, then you'll start getting weeded out. And then I'll start putting something else in. But right now, Storm Shadow, bitch, you're in the running because you're a producer. So we're keeping you.
I've had that before. I mean, not that one, but I've had Storm Shadow before, and I really do like that
it's
strain.
A tremendous producer. It's an all-around great smoke.
It's tasty, yeah.
I took it almost 80 days, and it was really very, I don't like very speedy kind of weeds, so it was very my speed at this point. So the further we go, I think the further things are my liking, but we have a few things in the running that are not see, that's the other thing. I have a hard time picking things that are sativa-ish. I like, long standing, all body feel. So I take you very long. I'm going to take you the full strength. I'm looking for, trichomes that are hazy into very dark-ish. I don't want anything or not cloudy. I don't want clear. I don't want clear at all.
Yeah.
What about amber? Like, where you at on amber?
I like amber.
You do?
I do like amber, but I pick and choose what I'm going to take to amber.
I was going to say, because that's probably what, if you don't like speedweed, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to go amber.
I do not like speedweed. I take everything amber, cloudy to amber.
Which ones are standing out for you, though, right now, Tara, if you had to pick one?
Oh, goodness. Okay. So the Storm Shadow is phenomenal. I've already ran it. It's a producer. It's great. I'm going to put it to the side. I have not ran anything else in the garden. So the Meathead crossed with Cherry Afghani is what I'm most hopeful for right now. That's what I want to wash. That's my one I want to fucking wash. So I am getting what I think I need. Smells are great. Buds are looking phenomenal. Nice bud sets, stacking great. So that's what I'm really hopeful for. But my next one is my Chem Cookies. That's going to be my one.
Nice.
So besides this couple, I only have 2 going right now, and they're pretty close. I have one that's a little bit higher than the other, but pretty universal. Got good terps going. Oh my God, they're the ones that have been.
Are they still stretching? Are both of them still stretching, or have they stopped?
I think we stopped. We're going into week 4 right now. I think everything stopped. My last one that I had stretching was my motherfucking Jones. And that one stretched a little bit more than my Chem Cookies. The Chem Cookies, though, has been the only one in my whole garden that has prayed the whole time. I mean, I don't, even when it is bad, even when I suck ass on my garden, my chems have prayed.
That sounds awfully GMO. Like, you got any ones that start smelling like GMO? You got any GMOers?
Well, except for the only thing that's different is the GMOs usually stretch for like week 5.
That's what I'm wondering. Yeah, you got any that are real tall and stretchy nodes?
We'll see. We're not going there yet.
Okay.
But the thing I've noticed is they're still real tight, whereas GMO stretches a bit more, and I don't like that about GMO, and they get very red stemmed.
What?
And these are not red stemmed. These are very tight like runts. Runts is very like cook this and this and this stacked on top. This is very like no longness.
No internodal spacing. Is it more hazy like? So it's kind of, is it spear at the top?
Oh God, it better not be hazy. I'll be
I know. Well, what's the shape of the top, I guess, is what I'm asking. And I'm going to show you guys when you
so like a cattail.
Hold on, let me see if I can send something to Bacon. He can put it to you
Hold
guys.
on.
I don't have a.
I'm going to screen share. I was going to say I'm going to share my screen real quick because I've got a few different examples of things I posted up recently on mine. Not entire screen. We want a Chrome tab. Let's go there. All right, so I put these just on my so that's not the one I wanted, but I just put these on my story on just Frigoli, not the Frigoli _ one. These were all on there yesterday, so I reposted them on this other one just so we could share this on here. So this is the Clementine, right? It's more of sort of the spear-esque type. It's not really filled out all the way. You can see I'm really just kind of draining it early.
It looks miserable to trim. I'm gonna put it out.
It's awful, dude. It's awful, and it's
okay. That's why I don't like close nodes. That's why I like GMO stuff, because it's like, oh, here's a nice bud. Then you go up a couple inches. Here's a nice bud.
Yeah. No, there's. I have a few strains like that, and certainly there's.
Sometimes it's worth it,
dude. I was thinking about this last night, man. I'm standing here at the Clementine, having this discussion in my head that you and I are having right now, and I'm like, there are some strains that commercially are just not viable, and Clementine is one of them. But guess what? It's a fucking Cannabis Cup winning strain. It's worth it for me to grow. It's worth it for the terps, and I'm going to keep growing it. So you know what? This is. No one's going to ever want this, but the Bag of Pills sucks at it. It doesn't wash.
Sometimes some things are not worth commercial grow, and you don't know it until you try it. And you have to find somebody that's willing to take the risk to put that out there, to try to grow it, to see if it will do a commercial grow of it. So
Shout out to my
sometimes
boss because we grow so much bullshit just to find out it's trash.
Right.
But you have to do
But we
that.
find
Pretty
some
awesome.
keepers and stuff, and then we run a whole table of them and see what it's like. But
Yeah, you actually get some data on it.
not a lot of places do that, and it's nice. He's literally offered like, oh, if you think a pack would be good here, buy it, and we'll reimburse you for the.
I've noticed that with
the
you guys
pack.
and your seeds, it seems like it's very like you know, like you just like go figure it out. You know what I mean? Like bring something worth trying out. And
Well,
like,
yeah, we're trying everything. I bring me and TJ bring in a lot of skunk. Our other buddy brings in seed junkie. He's a big fan of that
Well,
stuff.
yeah, that's unfortunate.
I know, and he would bring in cookies, and we brought in a few cookies, and it was such trash that we don't even run cookies anymore. Seeds.
nice.
Yeah, it was literally like it showed itself.
So,
One that we won't run too, I want to definitely mention is Savage Genetics, because we had like a whole 3 different strains Herm.
jeez.
So
That's why they're Savage Genetics, man.
but yeah, we try, so that's what's really cool.
Nice. So I'm going to try to get through this real quick. This is Garlic
Yeah.
Punch bred by Medgrower. This is of course, your Primal Punch, I think, across the GMO. So it's, your really long stretcher. This is the one that stacks
See,
like you see
yeah.
right here. This would be like the entirety of the
Look how easy that
outdoor.
looks.
It's great, right? But
Pluck,
once you
pluck,
get down,
trim.
this is just the tops. This is just the tops. Once you get below, it's kind of a pain in the butt. But yeah, the tops, this A grade stuff, these are gonna be great for flower rate. I mean, everything else you can just send right. Actually had to bust out a yo-yo for the first time in a couple of years. But all right, so now we're on to the Cobra Milk here, of course, from Spartan Grown. This thing just bushes out like crazy. I don't have this is early on in flower, unfortunately, not real super late like the other ones are. I already harvested this. But that one just stretches like crazy out in like a bushy way. Mr. Clean, of course, node stacking like crazy, pretty easy to trim. Not necessarily dome shaped.
I like that.
2 girls, 1 cup. What a weird looking one.
So
That's
this
weird.
one, guys,
The
this
flat heads.
yeah, man, this is what I wanted to really share because this is. I think I'm going to re-veg this. I think this will be my first second official re-veg. My first one was Lime Skunk last year because I just took made a user error and had an inventory mistake. But fortunately we brought that back. This one, I just decided not to clone, and man, it's kind of wild, and I haven't smoked it or anything yet. And I don't even really want to give away the terpene profile, but as you can see, like this is just a 10-gallon organic pot, like one of 4 plants under 1 light. And, there's no way I'm going to get any like actual weights.
But you're gonna
Given
have
the only
that
description that we
hashtag.
have to go by to guess what the terpene profile would be is the name.
Yeah, it's not
Doesn't
anything
sound
like
very appeling, man.
Yeah, well, it depends on who you're talking to. If
Fuck
you're
yeah,
talking to
dog
Tara-
duty. Yeah. That's gonna be at a Hash Bash Cup though.
Yeah. Those
Sweet.
are all strains that'll have either in flower extracts or edibles, terp cookies and etc. Look at this. This is what Carol wakes up next to every day.
Look at that defoliation job. That's why they're so happy.
For real.
Everybody take notes.
Look at them. Those are my chems right there. Look at them. Phenomenal.
Oh, you got some GMOs. What's that right in the middle? Is that one plant? The 3 towers?
You got it.
Yeah. That's a
that looks like
GMO leaner.
That's
one.
my chem, and that's my
What
chem
number?
right there.
What number?
I
She
got
heard that
chems
number.
right there.
Have you not numbered the chems?
Oh yeah, I do. I just am not on that side. I don't know what it is.
Oh, I need to know that number. I want that number sample.
All right, I get you.
That's
And
gonna
then
be
I
a
got
GMO leaner.
I got motherfucking Jones, motherfucking Jones, motherfucking Jones, and motherfucking Jones.
Nice.
Is that a
That's a
seed? That's a
takeover.
seed or a cut?
It's an
That's
unknown.
seeds.
Oh, okay,
Seeds.
sweet.
So the motherfucking Jones are all
Seeds.
seeds. The Storm Shadow right here is a cut. We
Point
got a Storm
again.
Shadow
I
right
couldn't
here.
see her. You got to point the camera
That
at it. I
corner.
couldn't see the storm shadow.
Sorry. Where am I at? Storm Shadow's right in the middle here.
Okay.
And then I got a motherfucking Jones and a motherfucking Jones here.
Dude, that one is
Nice.
stacked in that corner right there.
I
Yeah,
know.
Holy
isn't it?
smokes.
Tara, where you at? Like day 40 or something? 40
We're
days?
going into week 4 right now.
Holy shit.
Damn.
Yeah.
I know.
Holy crap.
Love and life.
That thing might be done in 60 days.
I know. And then right here, we got a snow cone that I got from Chiba Hawk.
Looks snowy.
Bag seed.
Hell yeah.
Bag seed right there, baby. I mean, this got started way later than everything in this whole garden, and it's right there with everybody.
Yeah, it's right
That's
in the center.
that's some
though, to be
vigor.
fair.
Some backseat vigor. Yeah.
Right.
So
We'll
here,
get to-
over here is my New England Hazy Kush right here.
Nice. That's
Love
from
it.
Pure.
Pure breeding.
Yep.
Yes. And I got another motherfucking Jones right here because it's phenomenal. But man, look at them chems.
Yeah,
Love
they're
it.
just reaching for it.
Oh, they have been praying every day when I come in here, praying hard. They love me.
Looking good.
It looks great.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Looks really healthy, Tara.
Thank
Seriously.
you. Appreciate it. We're trying real hard. We got a lot going on, and we're really trying to make this happen.
What size pots you in?
We're in 2 gallons to 3 gallons. There's like
Oh wow.
3 that are in 2 gallons, and everybody else is in 3.
What was that, Red?
So that answers the soil cocoa question. Soil or cocoa question.
Yeah, right.
We're in soil.
Ah,
Totally
Holy
soil.
shit.
how often are you
Everybody-
feeding?
All this is soil.
Are you feeding once a day or twice a day?
Once.
Okay. How much water do they take at 2 or 3 gallons a day, or 2 or 3 gallon size soil pots, and you're feeding them
I
daily?
would say at least
Like a liter and a half?
yes,
Liter? Yeah. Okay.
at least 1.5 liters.
That's the minimum mine take at 10 gallons.
Yeah.
But they typically take 3 liters probably.
So every
You
now
guys
and
are from
again,
England
we
or
might have a day
something.
where we can skip a
I
day.
know.
Liters.
It's like, what are you
and every
talking
other.
about? I
Yeah,
fucking
I'm like,
nine
what the
gallons.
But
fuck?
right now, everybody's going on an everyday feed, and like my stretch has stopped. That's my longest stretch right there. Everybody's done. Nobody's going any further, so we're just gonna fatten up right now.
Yeah. That's what's great about LEDs. All that'll be fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
So
We got another round downstairs going for our perpetual.
excellent.
Yeah,
That looks great.
thank you. Appreciate you guys.
I like that you say I'm from England and not like 98% of other countries in the world that use the metric system.
That's
Well, you're
the closest,
speaking English.
closest,
I mean,
closest one
All of our
America's related
nutrient
to.
bottles show up with milliliters
we-
and liters.
Well,
so-
do you still pay King George? Because I don't. I talk about gallons. No, we use milliliters though at work. So it's like
So
I was
1,000
like
milliliters
liters.
then.
Yeah,
So what are you
my
like a
pictures-
half a liter?
My
No,
pictures-
1,000
What is
milliliters.
this Farva? Yeah, a liter of cola.
Dude, I did that scene in high school in my speech class. Yeah, it was great, man. God, I could probably restate that
It's for a gap.
whole thing. Don't spit. Hold the spit.
Hold the spit.
The cubic
Poor
yard
cat.
is a
I love that.
cubic yard standard, right? Because I've had to move like 50 cubic yards of fucking mulch.
Mulch.
Oh, how's your mulch
Yeah.
battle going?
It looks really nice in his backyard, actually.
Dude,
Yeah,
it's
but
amazing.
like, is your driveway clear?
Almost clear, dude.
Hell yeah.
It's like an 8x8 pile now. Just a
Oh,
little bigger.
sweet.
Like
Well,
a
I got more wood if you want it.
More wood. We were talking about it, we're like
It's a weird thing to tell a guy baked.
ship drop.
It is.
Almost able to get my trailer back in the driveway, and once I'm able to get the trailer back in the driveway, we're gonna go get some wood and start building our greenhouse. So that should happen in the next couple weeks.
Sweet.
Then maybe we can get the weather for it and everything. And yeah, man, it's trying to get as much done as we can before it gets hot. It was warm today. It was.
It
Man,
was. I was surprised how warm it got today.
That wasn't bad.
If
it
the
was
sun is
perfect. What it
all
was.
winter long, there's something about that sunshine.
Yeah.
It was beautiful today.
It was the middle of February.
So it rained.
I got pictures of me building a fucking shelf out in my driveway in the middle of February just because the sun was out and it was 60 degrees out. It was fucking crazy. Well, it probably wasn't 60, but it was warm enough to build a shelf in the middle of the driveway.
Last year we had 3 days in a row of 70 degrees in like the mid to end of March, I remember, and it was such a tease, man. That was Michigan for you.
I
Yeah.
hate those teases.
I mean, I don't mind them.
Oh, I hate them.
You got lettuce on the
Oh
ground.
my God, are you kidding me? I want it. I want it now. I hate to be cold. I really hate to be cold. So I'm like, I
You
want
went
the
the wrong direction. You're
I
supposed to go
know.
south.
No, as long as
Just-
as long as you're in a grow
You know
room,
what?
Terry, you'll be warm.
I
Yeah,
know.
warm and
gonna
humid.
say, wait till that grow
You
room
guys give
starts
me the
creeping
love, so
up
I'm
in the
warm.
summer because I like the winter. Keeps the electricity bill down. But no, I got out there and did some yard work today, and then I washed like the tray, like a 4x4 tray, and I didn't have time to wash all the pots, but I got so many pots to wash over the winter. But it
Dude,
was
I-
a pot
so-
washing type of day.
Yeah, I washed a bunch of 1 gallons, a couple 10 gallons, but I did pull the one of my few 4x8 trays, but I'm like I didn't bust out the power washer yet, and I probably should have, but I think I'm gonna try to get them done maybe at the end of the week just because I'm like harvesting so much.
I
Yeah,
watched
I got a 3x6. I want to get outside and do that.
My other boss
in the middle of January this year.
like
It was the
can
middle of
wash-
January. Turn the water on.
Wait,
Pots inside. That's how,
wait, what, Red?
Do you have waders on and shit? Like,
oh, dude, it was a beautiful day like today. It was
oh, okay.
middle or end of January. I was out there washing pots. Did a whole round of pots before our last round outside. I was like, well, fuck, I don't have to fuck around getting wet inside today. It's beautiful.
Right.
The water,
Sweatpants,
yeah.
wet socks, and
That's no fun.
it really does. It's such a bummer. My shoulders, my wrists, everything's so sore by the end of the day. Like, what kind of brushes do you guys
boss
use? We should
texted
talk
me,
about
like,
this.
She's like, I'm taking
What?
down an old nursery, and there's all these different size pots. Would you be interested in them? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like 3-gallon pots, 5-gallon pots, seed sets, 1 gallons, 2 gallons. I was like, oh yeah, I'm all
Yeah.
about that. So the other
better.
night I was like, this is my section, and I went and like carted it off. So Troy came and got it today and put it in the truck and
Nice.
started off all our 1 gallons and seed starts. Love it.
That's
You better clean the shit out of those.
Oh my God, you know I will.
Bleach dunks.
If they don't
Semidate
have
dunks.
a pest, they might have just like a shitty like
Put 'em through an oven.
pesticide or something.
If you know me,
some
I'm a
UV
freak
on it.
about bleach. So
Yeah. Oh, I love bleach.
ISO. It's TT.
Yep.
You know me. It's TT with the ISO and bleach.
We started bringing vinegar out. We're using vinegar as a I don't know, like a soaking agent. Like we need to have like a towel soaking in a thing of water or whatever. We used to use bleach, but I've been doing a little bit more research about having a septic.
Mm.
And
That's it. That's what I was gonna bring up, dude.
yeah, being on
Not good.
septic, it's putting the bleach in there is going to actually kill the bacteria. Well, we don't there's not people using the septic every day, so there's not like a lot of shit building up in there. You know what I mean?
Which makes it even worse if you're putting bleach in there and there's not that bacteria in there, right?
Bacteria in there at all.
Do you know how to combat that? I know I've brought it up on I think this show
So
before.
what's the
Stop
ratio of
using
vinegar that you do?
We're gonna stop using bleach. We're gonna start using vinegar. Shit that goes down the drain at least.
So one thing to help that
Please
is get
bleach.
those
Spray bottle.
those small dry yeast packets. My septic cleaning guy or whatever is like, do you guys use bleach to clean stuff? And I'm like, probably once in a while. It is like, you should probably once a month take just, those little strips of like the yeast packets you get from Meijer or whatever, Kroger, wherever your local grocery store is, just grab a yeast packet, whatever the toilet is closest to your sub pump, just put it in there once a month. Just label them, put them up on the shelf, whatever, once a month, dump them in there, flush them down. It's going to help the good bacteria in your septic tank. And you should be getting that cleaned every 3 to 5 years. But every month, put some of that down there. You might as well do it anyway. Honestly, it's cheap.
Yeah.
So wait, Red, you guys are using like distilled vinegar? So is it just like a Subway in there?
What?
Oil and vinegar. It's a sub
Like
shop.
if you clean a room
That's
with
the
bleach,
connection.
if you clean a room and mop a room with bleach, it's gonna smell like a
hotel
bleach,
pool.
like a pool,
Yeah,
clean
hotel
like
pool.
bleach. But
Yeah.
if you mop it or clean something with vinegar, I'm imagining it's gonna smell like a Subway sandwich place or
smells
something.
pretty vinegary. Yeah.
It dissipates pretty darn quickly.
Does it
Not that
quicker?
bad.
Probably.
If
That's
so,
pretty interesting.
we don't wash our clothes. I use some like biodegradable soap and essential oil and vinegar and baking soda, and that's how I clean it. And the vinegar doesn't leave a smell. It cleans it nicely.
Hey, I will say, so when I visited my my hippie friends in San Diego, shout out to my hippie friends in San Diego. They just had their first kid, beautiful little girl. We did some laundry while I was there, and they of course were doing it with vinegar, you know, and I don't know, something else. And I did notice the smell right when it came out of the water or the dryer wash or whatever. But I'll tell you what, by the time I got home, there was no vinegar smell whatsoever, like the day later. So you're right, it does dissipate very quickly, and even with your clothes, I was kind of impressed. I'm not gonna lie.
It's been used since the 1900s, so it's like, why would they not use it? So
What's cool is you can make your own too.
yeah, you totally can.
And it's so much better for you. There's like a lot of hormone disruptors and stuff. And
I mean, get away from the pesticides of like the Clorox bleach kind of bullshit that we can buy in the store. I mean, vinegar and water is what you need to clean your everything. That's what I use when I clean homes is vinegar and water.
Except like viruses.
I was about to say we got viruses known to us that only die from bleach.
Lysol's
that's
good
the
every
only-
once in a while, you know, like
Lysol literally was told not to use Lysol from Rachel with deep tissue
Yeah, I
culture.
don't use Lysol. I use bleach.
Oh, there you go.
If
Lysol-
anything, I use vinegar and water or bleach and water.
Or Senadate. I've used a lot of Senadate in my time.
Obviously.
Oh man, that stuff's yeah. You gotta be careful.
Is that worse, or is that like environmentally worse or better, like in terms of
I just meant
eco-friendly
for
than
yourself.
bleach?
You can
No,
like.
no, I know,
cook
I know
yourself.
it's bad. I know
Or
it's bad, but
hazardous to yourself.
right. But in terms of like bleach is gonna like even once you put it down the drain, right? It's still killing things.
Hopefully.
What about like Senadate and stuff? How touche.
Well,
All right, fair enough.
like Rachel said bleach is only stable for like 24 hours. So,
Right.
right.
so
So
after
I'm
24
curious what-
hours in the sewage, it's just gonna, I guess, I don't
right,
know.
but
be
Senadate,
gross.
is that like the half life of that, like 2 hours? You know what I mean? Is it 30 minutes? I don't. It just seems like one of
Oh,
those
yeah,
things that's
you'd
gonna
have to
dissipate
check-
quickly,
yeah.
kind of like vinegar or something. I don't
Yeah, I'm
know
not
the chemical
sure.
makeup and all that. We'd probably have to do some offline research here, but I don't know. Yeah, bleach is one of those things that can be a little harsh.
You
Especially
know
after
what?
it
You
goes
know what
down
I
the drain.
do like that we're using at work?
Be aware.
The chlorine gases. Not only the ones that reset,
Yeah.
but the like 30 dayers, and they're supposed to like be a really low. They smell kind of weird, but it goes
the name
away.
on-
At, the what?
What's the name on those?
There's Procure and then there's
Yeah,
Garden Clean.
I thought it was
Garden Clean's more
know.
aimed at cannabis. It's like a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
And the guy will talk to you. Procure doesn't seem to really endorse cannabis, but they are happy selling them to cannabis people.
Of course they are, but they do a good job. They do a good job.
It's the same. The thing I like about Garden Clean, if I remember, is it's a little bit more percent, but it's like the same or less price. That's all.
Did
But
you set that
basically,
Procure bomb off and the build out?
yeah. Before I got everything the day before, 2 days before.
Oh, you did.
We got the plants in there. I bombed the whole building, and
I didn't smell a thing, so that was cool. It just
no, because there's like that hole where the mini split. I haven't sealed that up yet in case we need to run anything out there.
Oh yeah, okay.
There's like leakages in the hallway, and so I think it vented pretty good, and I had all the doors to everything open,
Oh,
other than
okay.
the outside door. But yeah, they're basically chlorine bombs we use for resetting, and they'll get into every nook and cranny. You run your AC and all that if you want. I'm a plastic up my
I think they do a good job. I really do. I mean,
yeah.
think-
I mean it's a 30% chlorine, I think, and it's gonna kill spores even if it gets to
I
them.
hope they
So,
do.
but the slow release ones you put up, and they just are in there for 30 days, and they create an uncomfortable environment for PM because it's like a low amount of chlorine or something. So, and they're catching on. We use them all over the place, and I think they work because we don't, God forbid, we don't see any issues of that nature.
Is it like
So,
a small amount that it doesn't affect you? Like what would
yeah,
that
I mean, we've been using them for like a year
Yeah,
at
I never
work, and
felt
you
affected
smell
by.
them when you open the package because it's like a
Absolutely.
sealed package,
Yeah.
and you put them in these little hanger boxes that you stick on the wall, and they're good for 30 days. We use them in dry room, pass tests, all that. We use them in veg. We use them in the hallways occasionally when, like
We
maybe
only use them in,
before.
we used them in only a couple rooms, so that's interesting that
We
you're.
buy, yeah, we'll buy a case of them. We're just, dude, we had a guy from, I don't know where, he was some like germ guy, and he came
Hey,
through and was
no,
like, you shouldn't do this,
more
you shouldn't do
beneficial.
that. And
Good.
he told us to go ahead and use those. He's a big fan of those.
But
And
that's good for you guys to breed, though. I think is what Becca's saying. That's fine. Did you look up that gas and see what that is?
I'm sure
anything
it's under
particularly breeding?
OSHA regulations, but
Well,
yeah,
that's
I
not what I
mean,
asked.
I don't have any issues, and I put them up. I mean, I should look it up, but
Well, people with asbestos didn't have issues right away either.
Same
that's
with
true.
CO2,
That's true.
right?
But
Like we have limits on that.
I take the YOLO more.
I see.
So yeah,
Okay.
I
I'm
was
not too worried about it right now.
idea.
Well, it's a good question to ask him. I actually wanted to see if I could get him on the show and see if I could talk to him about the Garden Clean guy, because there's only two companies. They're new, and Procure's the other one. They've been
That was
around for.
awesome.
They use them in medical buildings and stuff. That's
Yeah.
what they've been known for before.
So are they replacing like
cannabis.
UV lights with them? Because I see those all the time.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Everything from kitchens to laboratories to yeah. I mean everything. So
I mean, we still have ProGuards at our place, which I think have a little UV light in them, but I mean, it's the same idea. It's like having something in there
just
without,
low
I
grade
guess,
to
light.
keep at it. It's almost
Yeah.
like IPM. It sounds like, but I don't know if I want to compare it to that. But it sounds like it's a way to combat
It keeps
the bad
everything,
stuff
yeah.
over long term.
Are your rooms sealed?
Yeah, we have sealed rooms.
That was my concern. It's like you guys are bombing these rooms at a commercial facility. You must not be having issues. They must be sealed up really well.
But they're made for houses, so
designed for
like I did my house, and they'll tell you come in after 4 hours, but I recommend a day. I stayed at a hotel, and I bombed it. I even had plants. In tents, and I zipped those up, and they didn't die or anything. But you come in and you're supposed to open all your windows and kind of air it out, and it smells like a pool in there. But it's a good way to clean out your vents and shit, because you leave everything running, your ducting, all that. So
Good way if you have any mice, just fucking destroy them all.
yeah, it's gonna kill anything in there, I would imagine, living that breathes.
Spiders, lots and lots of spiders.
Yeah, so, but you can get them for like $35, I think, for one that's like
3,200
square feet.
Oh, okay. So you need a couple of them probably, huh? To do like a a bigger size grower, bigger size house, like because
1,000 square feet's pretty big.
Well, some of the bombs I've seen, and they weren't. It's like pyrethrin or whatever. Aren't those like 3,000?
Yeah, those are for like bed bugs and shit.
Okay. I just always thought those were like much bigger, like 3,000 square or cubic feet or something like that.
Yeah, those. I don't know how they operate differently, but these, like this says 2,200 square feet.
Okay.
So for the 25 gram one, which is like $50, I think, which is their bigger one.
Okay.
And then, but 2,200 square feet is huge. Like,
is that talking square or cubic feet? Because of course some people have
that's cubic.
taller...
That's cubic. It's
okay.
Square, or yeah. So
wait, is it square or cubic? You said both.
It's feet to the third, so that's cubic.
Yep.
Yeah. So that's huge. Well, I guess that's not that big.
No, 1,000 cubic feet really isn't all that big, man.
Let's see. Let's reverse it.
10 by 10 by 10.
That's pretty big.
That's a 10 by 10 by 10.
Is it?
It's not that big.
Yeah, that is 10 by 10 by 10. Yeah, that is not that big.
So you need like 3 of those for a building, so to speak. I know again depends on like the size of your grow and stuff, or your house or whatever it might be. But You know, if you just got
Yes.
a tent or a room of tents, yeah, you're probably good. But like if you got 3-4 rooms or something going, you're gonna need multiple
That's
bombs.
probably why the pole barn didn't smell as bad as work does. We used like 5 in the grow room of the big ones when we do a reset.
Okay. Yeah, but
And
you guys
know,
got probably
you
what,
know.
14-foot ceilings or something like.
Yeah, it's like 20-foot ceilings in there.
Oh,
It's
shit.
ridiculous.
40-foot long
HPS
tables.
people, bro. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
they're out of control.
It's
There's-
scale, baby.
There's 3 40-foot long tables and they're 4-foot wide.
Yep. And yeah, we did it like the other day. We think it's like 25-foot wide room by 50 foot by 20 feet tall.
20
the
feet,
the
so it's
ceiling
like-
really adds the space, man.
Yeah, well, yeah, that
But-
cubit. That's why I asked about the cubit, because like if you got 6-foot grow room, you got an 8-foot grow room. Like that's one thing. If you're rocking a 14-foot grow room or a 19, whatever, it changes things real quick. Especially
Yeah,
when
but
you're
it
trying to hit
also
the nooks
keeps
and
the-
crannies.
Keeps the temperature controllable way easier because all the heat will go to the top and it doesn't really affect your plants much.
Yeah.
Really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend taller. Like if you can, I've grown in everything from pretty much 6'6" to I think 14 something, maybe in some changes. The max I've gone on the caregiver side, and yeah, I definitely take that 14, man.
Except for fucking with hanging lights and that. Or,
Yeah, as long as you got some ladders. I'm a tall guy, so I'm a little bit fortunate there. But yeah, I'll tell you what, putting up ceiling, it doesn't matter if it's 6 foot or 14 foot. Putting up ceiling, whether it's drywall, plywood, plywood.
Yeah, well, in there when you're going up, what are those 20-foot ladders? Okay? Aluminum ladders that don't weigh nothing, and you're going 20 foot tall, standing on the top rung to try to get to the.
I like that part.
To lean over to reach on the light.
Jesus.
That's over the plants. Yeah,
hanging onto the dehumidifier just for some balance.
Yeah.
I do not hang on that thing. That thing is
No, that
on
thing's
like
scary, too.
that thing is on like the
Like this big around
threaded metal.
threaded, yeah,
It's no
Really?
bigger
Just
than
the
like a
threaded rod?
Sharpie.
hanging
Yeah.
from the ceiling.
Yeah, I don't.
Wait,
yeah.
but is there strut in there?
Oh,
and
strut.
stuff?
Yeah, there's strut.
Yeah, there's strut, but I mean,
But how big is the strut? 'Cause some of that strut will hold like.
what do you mean? The
20,000
strut
pounds.
above the drywall that I can't see? I don't know.
Well, it's probably above the trusses, guys. Have you been up there before?
I'm talking about the vertical threaded. I could
The
bend that
threaded
shit with
rod.
my hand if I
Oh.
wanted.
Seriously? So
This
that's
is like no. You
that's
see this
smaller than your
chapstick?
pinky, dude.
This is thicker than the stuff. I'm like, I don't understand. Yeah, it's sketchy.
It's really that small of threaded rods. They
It's
probably
pretty
use
good.
like
It's
8
pretty
These were
good.
professionally installed.
Yeah,
but-
use like 3/16 or like 3/4 like threaded rod. But the strut kind of is the biggest thing because that's really what's holding it against the
yeah.
joist in the ceiling.
I mean,
Oh,
they
really?
never
as
go
long as they're like
anywhere, but
above the joist,
but
in
you
the
can
ceiling,
literally go
not
like
just on
this and
drywall,
they
you'll
they
be good.
sway. You're just
You don't
like,
think
oh
the nut is
lord.
more important? I think the nut's a little bit more important than the strut. That's holding it on the strut.
Well, the nut's a tiny little thing because the strut's thin. That's what I mean. It goes hand in hand. So
But
yeah,
you're-
that's
you're
what I'm looking
spreading
at.
out the weight on the strut. I see what you're saying. It's all important. Let's be honest. Those freaking dehumidifiers are like 3,000 pounds. Like
Yeah, yeah. I saw them putting a new one up finally, and he had like this awesome jack thing. It was just
Really?
a straight vertical jack. It was, yeah, you need an air compressor, but it
with
was
an
pretty
air
cool.
compressor.
I think that's tensile strength, and I believe that is quite strong.
It probably is. I mean, we've never had one fall, but I'm
Knock on
also
wood.
not. If the ladder falls, I'm not grabbing onto the DU.
Given
I've
like-
legit done pull
Oh
ups.
yeah, so I fall with a 600-pound DU on me.
Well,
No
if those
thanks.
things were like copper, they'd like stretch out probably.
Oh yeah.
You know, but they're
Yeah.
probably like
Plated
steel.
or something.
Probably, yeah, they're probably really good. The threads are really important, like you said. The
Yeah.
nuts are really important.
And
That's-
let's talk about how long it takes to thread some of those
Of
things.
course.
Oh my lord.
Uh,
I've put up enough of those 185s and 155s, and I don't know. They're just all put up the same way, but I don't know. I've never had any issues with them falling or whatever. God, I feel like I need to knock on wood again.
Yeah, see, it's just I don't
Hey.
like. Yeah.
You know what? Before I forget, I meant to do this at hash time. I'm giving away a Terp cooler at
Oh.
the Hash Bash Cup.
Hey,
and it's going to
I'll
be
trade
full
you.
of all sorts of delicious Frugoli goodies. Right now, it's only got a few things in there and some cords and whatnot, but I promise you that thing will be full. It will plug into both your car and your house. It's got an on and off switch.
Yeah,
It's a
buddy.
good size. I think it's like, I don't know, 6
Sign
cans or
me up.
whatever.
You can put it in a rolling cooler
Make
and
sure
take it
you,
on the go.
make sure you follow me at Frugoli _. I'll put the link on the chat right now. I'll probably announce something on there. But yeah, I'll be giving away a bit at the Hash Bash Cup, but just full of goodies. I'm excited.
Why is
about
there
that.
not a Frugoli sticker on that?
There's going to be. I just haven't I haven't slapped anything on yet.
You don't
You can
even
do
know.
it.
So
Come and
We
get
could do a giveaway thing using StreamYard on the late sesh.
No giveaway. I'll come and
I'll probably do it at the Hash Bash Cup. But
through the giveaway. I'll get it.
I don't know, dude. I've spent so much time making bags and stuff. Like, yeah, no, I think I'm gonna cover up. I can't find a sticker right now, but I have one that fits perfectly over this Frigidaire logo that you can't see because it's so bright in here. So yeah, it's gonna be a Frugoli right there, and then I'm probably
like
just
it.
Frugoli stickers all over. But yeah, I found a white one. It's got a handle. It's got a sweet locking door
Love it.
mechanism.
I'm
Thing's
coming
sweet,
to
man.
get it.
That's gonna be
Coming
sick.
to get it.
They're already putting numbers in chat.
Uh,
Yeah,
That's hilarious. I love you guys.
mm,
Big says, get out of here.
I wouldn't do numbers. That would be a key word. I figured it out.
I want it.
Yeah, so we got the Hash Bash coming up. That's
Yeah, we
less
got
than a
the hash-
week.
Coming up.
Not even, man. It's
coming
Friday,
up weekend.
3 p.m.
Yeah, so
Ann Arbor,
That Hash
Michigan.
Bash Cup, yeah.
Friday in
Yeah.
Ann Arbor.
Yeah, the Hash Bash itself on the Diag on Saturday
Saturday
at
noon, right?
noon. Yeah, high noon, I believe. But yeah, the Hash Bash Cup will be going all weekend. Hope you guys see you there Friday or Saturday. I don't even know if I'll be there on Sunday. I think we talked about this last week. But
I will be at the Diag on Saturday.
nice.
That's where I'll be.
That's where I'll be.
I
Smoking it
don't
up.
know yet.
I'm planning on that, and then I also won some tickets through Medical Monday. Shout them out one more time
It's
for
awesome.
the cup. So I'll check it
Yeah.
out one of those days. I'm just not sure. Probably Saturday's probably the best looking day, but I don't know. I'll be up there.
Saturday, I'm set. I got off from my job, so I'm like set and ready to go.
you guys should all come over after like the fair, the outdoor stuff. You know what I mean? Like once
Yeah.
you're all done over there, you should all like carpool over or whatever and
Oh,
come like
tremendous.
sesh it up.
Gotta
And
take us over there too. So I'm gonna be over at the Diag, smoking it up with everybody, and then I'm gonna go over to the hotel and
yeah, I have a hotel room that I'm not necessarily going to be using, so we can find out something to do with that. Maybe we can have like a little MBGS session there or something like that.
nice.
So.
That would be awesome.
It's definitely going to be crowded, so that'd be way.
Hey.
Will be
Yeah. Hey, and if you guys want to swing by and let me, use have a bathroom break or go grab some dinner, I'd be more than happy to let you run the booth for a
Right. Only. Gonna have the Dank Band, the 420 Sesh, Terra Nation, Red Setter. We're gonna all be down there.
Should be a good time. Hopefully it doesn't rain.
I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, and hopefully you get some
You never
sun later
know.
today. I know it's supposed to be a pretty decent week here, like some lows at the night or whatever, but it's going to be in like, high 50s. Even I saw even 60 a couple times this
Oh
week.
yeah.
I also saw snow in the forecast, so who knows when that, it might be snowing at night and sunny during the day or something. But
Oh my goodness.
Up north there might be.
yeah, actually, I guess I haven't looked at the Ann Arbor weather. I'm kind of north.
Yeah.
My mom lives up in St. Helens, just
Got it,
north
and
of West Branch, and she got like 6 or 8 inches just on Saturday.
Yeah, I heard there was 10 inches on Saturday for some forecasted up there.
Yeah,
Yes.
they were getting an inch an hour at one point. She was saying, and I was like,
I
"Dang."
Dude,
that.
that
Yeah.
snowstorm we had a few weeks ago, I was going back and forth to my grow like a couple times an hour, and I was bringing my shovel every single time because it was snowing that hard. At one point, we were getting 3 inches an hour. It was, I think we got,
Jeez.
I don't know. I know I posted
You're out driving.
pictures and where you guys were driving. Gee,
It was my birthday.
that's right.
Oh man.
We braved it, and
I remember that weekend.
Driving through Ann Arbor.
It was scary. I was
It
like,
was a
should we
nightmare.
turn back? This is scary.
It's all part of the
That's
adventure.
That's when you're saying, I don't care about gas mileage. Thank God for this
Yeah,
vehicle.
Drive.
Seriously.
Hey, we did it.
You made it.
Did
Made it.
made it.
And they're still here.
That's why we have 4-wheel drive. Yeah. It was thrilling. Let's just say that it was thrilling.
Well, I
We've
know
got,
there's some people still stuck on Top Chat.
we've got lettuce in the
Cool. I
ground.
hope
I'm in
not.
live
We're
chat.
not letting
Probably
this-
Uncle Rick if he's in there.
Getting in the live chat.
What about you, Rosemary's Oasis? Are you guys still stuck in Top Chat, or I didn't see the sign come out today?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We're in
There's somebody out there.
I'm
We're
in all chat.
StreamYard comments
Obviously.
section.
Becca's on it.
I know you're lying because it's called live chat.
Yeah, what is all chat?
What is all chat?
That is a phone thing.
Horse shit.
I love it.
All
I love
messages.
it, love it, love it, love it.
That must be after you update.
I love not being the most tech-tard.
New YouTube. So we planted stuff outside. That's pretty cool. We
That
got
is
a cold frame and planted some lettuce and garlic.
Explain what
What's
a
a
cold
cold
frame is,
frame
and maybe you
is,
can
yeah.
pull it up on Instagram here. Huh?
It's a frame you
Maybe.
cover in plastic, a mini greenhouse.
Past
Is
when
it
I,
on Rosemary's?
yeah,
I bet you it is.
Yeah, I'll find it. Just keep talking.
it's pretty much just like a framed out. He built it, super cool. A framed out little
Oh,
greenhouse
okay.
over our garden.
Small.
Small.
How many cubic feet is it?
I don't know.
So one that I have, I just filled. So I took a raised bed and I put
just
PVC and bent it over it, and then put plastic over top of that. So it's as big
So
as you
awesome.
want.
what mill plastic do you guys use for that?
We used 6 mil
I think mine's 6 too.
plastic.
Okay,
It's just the same stuff we wrapped up our chicken coop with.
look at that.
Nice.
So those are 1-bys. Looks like.
Fence pickets.
Okay.
Awesome.
You rip down some
Love
fence
it.
pickets, and then those are like construction stakes. You get a bundle of them. They're already pointed. You don't have to do anything with them.
Did you just staple it, or how'd you attach it?
Stapled it.
Nice.
One
Nice.
over the top, one over the top, one over the side, and then the bottoms are like an extra piece of
I'll try to stop it.
a piece of a construction stake stapled to the bottom, so you can roll it up and over. And they're only
Mhm.
stapled like halfway down. You know,
Yeah,
the
So cool.
airflow.
up in the over, yeah. So we can open. So it was open today, because it was warm and nice out. Now that it's cold out, we got it closed like that. It's closed down.
Oh, I see you got the weight, like a weight on the bottom that you can also just roll up as a flat. That's awesome.
Like it was windy, so we put bricks on it. See, there's some bricks
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
the bottom, on the front and the back, but there's some bricks.
So cool.
And we can duplicate this for larger sections, or we can just do a caterpillar tunnel. Makes more sense, but it's
Right.
probably more expensive to buy all the proper hardware. We can just rip down some fence pickets and make this for $10.
It was
Gosh, this is looking so good back there, guys. Holy smokes!
Yeah.
Beautiful setting in the background.
It's
Yeah.
best
Seriously,
way
a
to-
lot of love and
How's
effort
that
put
apple
in.
tree coming?
So much love.
they're good.
We got a delivery from Stark Brothers yesterday, so we got.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
I think I got.
Blueberry tree.
I don't know if the blueberries on this shipment, but
We gotta open
got
it.
a mulberry tree, some hardy kiwi, some blueberries, some
Strawberry, everbearings.
some
Oh, let's go.
I
sour
took
potatoes,
a before shot today and kind of
some
did like
random
a 360 view, and so I'm definitely super excited to get that like end of the season, just because it's gonna be so luscious and
Absolutely. Mhm.
When I gotta ask Becca, when did the snow melt for you guys? Because today was the last day I had snow.
dude.
Cool.
I know why it's been.
Yeah. I
We
did yard work today. It's been going.
I've been all over the state, and I really
Like
feel
2-3 days ago.
about Bay City and below is like not. They're thawed out, but Bay City and above is iced up.
we've hard,
I legit got like a half-inch of snow last night. It came down
What?
sideways, whipping like crazy, freezing my
my.
butt off.
No way.
Woke up to snow on the ground this morning, and then
know
all of a
what
sudden
it
it's
is?
50 degrees.
Wait,
know?
I
You're
s-
not. You know what it is, Red? I looked it up. He's probably not in the 6B. He's still in the 5A or whatever.
He's north of the wall.
Yeah, he's still in that 5A.
Yeah,
where he was-
that's you don't want to be out there.
I
For
wish
real.
I was
That's,
actually
yeah.
north of the wall, but yeah.
Give it some time. Climate change
Because
is
that
working,
wall has a
and you'll be up there soon.
I'm
enough.
high enough elevation. We'll be fine.
I think we had like last week a couple of days of rain in a row.
That's what really killed the snow was the rain here.
Yeah.
we
We got
one
rain,
full
cold
day of it.
rain. Yep.
Any
But,
day we've been able to. If it's not raining and muddy, we're out there hauling wood chips and working in the garden.
I cleared our tomato bed today, so it still had all the vines and everything. So
all
I
of our beds are almost
burned
prepped.
all of that today.
I just see Red out there like not tilling,
Would
but
you-
whatever you call it, in
Yeah.
your soil and stuff. And I'm just like, dude, if I pulled out my rototiller right now and cranked that engine, it would struggle in the ground because it's
What are
still
you
not
talking
done.
about, rototiller? Get the hell out of here with that, man.
Shut up! I know. I'm still developing my land. I'm also putting mulch down. I've got multiple
Guys gotta have
different
a road.
methods of throwing. Chill out. I'm gonna till some shit.
Oh man. Well,
Needs a little mix up.
I gotta get you out here, Spartan. I seriously have like I've got like 3,300 square feet of mulch laid out now of just it's gonna be just plants just in the middle of mulch. You know what I mean? So I don't have to pull
That's
weeds.
cool. I like
that's
that.
it. But that's just some of it. That's not where the cannabis is. That's not where the corn is. That's just where, like the peppers and the tomatoes and things like that. Like that are easy to harvest.
all right. Well, it's been a good show. We got the late session tomorrow. Check us out, 11 p.m. And if you need some tickets to Hash Bash, there might be some on Medical Mondays tomorrow. Last chance, I guess.
Oh.
We'll see ya.
Keep growing.